What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I built and installed this custom barn door from start to finish. I'll break down the whole process from cutting the boards to putting everything together and getting it mounted on the wall. If you've been thinking about building one for your home, this is a pretty straightforward project and I'll walk you through it step by step. Hopefully you pick something up along the way. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. For the main part of this door, I'm using 1x6 tongue and groove pine boards. I really like these because they lock together cleanly and help keep the whole panel nice and flat during glue up. They also add a little extra character to the door compared to just using plain boards. Another thing I like about these is the groove on the back side, which gives the boards a bit more of a detail look instead of looking completely flat. It also means you get a nice look on both sides of the door rather than just the front. To get things started, I head over to the miter saw and cut all the boards down to 86 inches. Once all my boards are cut to the correct length, the next step is trimming the left and right edges of the board. I take them over to the table saw and remove the tongue and groove from those side pieces. Doing this gives the door a smooth, straight edge instead of having that interlocking profile shown on the outside. Now it's time to glue up and assemble all of the boards. I'm just adding a small amount of glue in the groove of each board to avoid squeeze out, which can be a pain to clean up if it gets between the seams. Once the glue is in, I start locking each board together and work my way across the panel. I like to take my time here and make sure every joint is fully seated so that the door stays nice and flat. After everything is connected, I give the whole panel a quick check to make sure it's lined up before getting it clamped up. Once all the boards were glued up, it was time to clamp everything together. I only had 2 clamps long enough for this project, so I put those in the middle and then used ratchet straps on each end to pull it snug. After letting the glue dry overnight, I went ahead and trimmed out the door with 1x6 boards. For the trim, I went with Select Pine. It's a little more expensive, but I think it really steps up the overall look of the door. If you are trying to keep the cost down, regular whitewood works just fine too. To attach the trim, I used a little bit of glue and some brad nails to lock everything in place. This is also where you can get really creative and make your own design and play around with different layouts. I decided to add an X pattern at the bottom of the door using 1x2 strips. Figuring out the angles took a little bit of trial and error, but it came out looking pretty good and I'm happy with how it came together. Once all of the trim was on, I went over all the pin nail holes with wood filler. I definitely recommend doing this if you're planning to paint the door, but if you were just staining it a dark color like I did, you really don't even need to spend much time on it because the holes barely show. While the wood filler was drying, I grabbed my router with a 1/8 inch roundover bit and smoothed out all the edges of the door. After that, I went back with my orbital sander, starting with 100 grit and worked my way up to 220 grit, making sure everything was nice and smooth and ready for stain. For the finish, I used Minwax Dark Walnut stain and followed it up with 2 coats of oil-based polyurethane. This ended up being the most time-consuming part of the whole project. Getting the stain worked into all the seams and edges takes a lot of patience. Once everything dried, the polyurethane really brought out the color and gave the door a nice golden brown finish. Once the finish was dry, I could start installing the board that the track rides on. This part was a little tricky to do by myself. Instead of relying on layout lines, I just got one side loosely fastened in the general area and then used my level to dial it in. Once it was perfectly level, I locked it down with a second screw. Making sure this board is level is the most important step because it keeps the door balanced and prevents it from rolling to one side. I used a stud finder to locate all of the studs and attach the board with 2 screws in each one. Next, I followed the same process as before and mounted the rail to the board. Using my level to make sure the door sits nice and balanced, I pre-drilled all of my holes and then tightened the rail down with lag bolts to lock everything in place. Now that the track was completely installed, I pre-drilled the holes and mounted the rolling hardware to the top of the door. This part goes pretty quickly, just make sure everything is centered and tightened down so the door hangs nice and straight once it's done. After installing the rollers on both sides of the door, I lifted it into place on the rail and slid it back and forth a couple times to make sure everything looked square. Once the door was hanging properly, I installed the door stops and adjusted their positions so that the door can open and close exactly where I want it. Now that the door was rolling evenly on the track, I could start installing the floor guide at the bottom of the door. This kit comes with 2 different options. The first option is a metal bracket that mounts directly into the floor, and you cut a small channel in the bottom of the door for it to ride in. That's the method I usually recommend because it can stay hidden and doesn't wear on the finish of the door like the second option can. The second option is an adjustable rolling guide that sits on the side of the door. I ended up going with that one since it could be mounted directly to the wall instead of drilling into the floor. I had to cut back some of the baseboard to get the bracket installed. The last step was getting the handle installed. I positioned it exactly where I wanted it and pre-drilled the holes and then fastened it to the door from the back side using an Allen key. And here's a final look at the finished door. This was a super fun door to build, and I hope this video helps you out if you're planning to make a barn door of your own. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys for watching.